Well, hi there, folks. Back with another live interview at WordCamPUSA 2022. We're on Saturday. Got Arthur with me. Arthur, would you like to introduce yourself to the live audience that are watching this?
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for having me, Jonathan. So, Artur Grabowski, I am with Extendify, co-founder of Extendify. We are building experiences on top of Gutenberg that extend Gutenberg and turn it really from a product to a full-on solution for the WordPress community. And we've been at this for a couple of years. We built a really amazing team around this, including folks like Rich Tabor, who are leading product for us, and Chris Lubkirk, my co-founder. And we're here largely bringing a new product, kind of showcasing.
Exciting product.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, showcasing the product to folks like yourself. I know you just saw a demo and getting in front of users.
I'm very interested in it because what it deals with, folks, is one of the bugbears of WordPress compared to some of its SaaS competitors, and that's the newbie, inexperienced person to WordPress, the onboarding experience.
Yeah.
Which to say is a little bit behind the times compared to some of the SaaS competitors.
Yeah.
Would be a slight understatement. So I'm really excited about your product, actually.
Yeah, no, thank you. That's right. We talked about this. The average new WordPress user signs up for WordPress hosting thinking they're getting Wix and they get WP-Admin, and they are really left to decide either they want to pick up a new hobby, watching YouTube videos and reading, blog articles on the weekends, figuring out how to build a site, or unfortunately, what we see way too often is those users churn and go to Wix. And I think the numbers we see around that happening even understate the problem, because I think often the users that stick around and kind of battle WordPress to build the site they want are some of the users that aren't kind of investing as much in their site versus a lot of those kind of valuable users that actually end up going to Wix. And so we've built Extendify as a set of tools specifically for hosts, WordPress hosts who see really high churn rates, see their users fail to activate. And we want to make those users successful, make those hosts successful, and just make the whole ecosystem healthier.
It certainly is needed because I'm a kind of quasi-agency host, hybrid model, my own business. And the way we deal with it is I try to make the problem a feature, because we just said we provide white glove onboarding.
That's right. That's right.
And we manually they sign up, they fill in the form, and then we have a provisional Zoom call with them to find out who they are, where they are with WordPress, are they a coach or whatever they are, have they got an existing site?
Yeah.
And then based on that call, we have a secondary, more detailed. And my model works if I highly motivate them to buy a yearly plan through the discount, because obviously the month to month, it doesn't make financial sense, and I have to still offer it.
Absolutely.
And we just, I just have to eat it. Mm-hmm. But even those that are just paid monthly, they normally then upgrade to yearly if they're happy. But we do lose a few, because they don't understand. And we offer packages of training, or they can buy developer hours, or they can have us build out a whole site. And it's worked to some extent, but it's not ideal.
Yeah, I think that's right. I think you're hitting on two important things that have been top of mind for us. So the first is, with the exception of the 3 or 4 biggest hosts in the world, and we could all name them, with the exception of those folks, every other host is really offering a pretty default out-of-the-box WordPress experience with no onboarding. Maybe a host will pre-install like a Forms plugin or something, but really no onboarding, right? And we know that for those hosts, they both may lack the product resources and the actual sort of team to build out that onboarding experience. We want to be that partner for those hosts to give them just an absolutely world-class onboarding experience that is found in a Wix, and Squarespace, and Shopify.
And what's also exciting about your product, Arthur, is that you're not don't get me wrong, in the right circumstance, it's a totally ideal solution. Is that I didn't, and I've got two businesses that I actively run, plus my podcast. One other business is based on multi-site, and multi-site has its strengths. But I didn't, for WP-Tonic, I didn't want to go down the multi-site route and impose that you've got these themes or you've got these plugins. We do have a library of plugins, but we don't say that they can't put their own. If they have to ask us to install it for them. If they want us to keep everything updated, because as part of our hosting, we'll keep the plugins updated and the core and deal with any conflict that comes with update. But they have to get us to install anything else. That's part of the due deal. So, but I didn't want to go down the multi-site because I wanted to keep that middle ground where they're not in a quasi WordPress SaaS.
That's right.
Which is what you get with multi-site.
And I think we've been very mindful in building Extendify as the solution for hosts, that it's built completely on core WordPress. We don't bring in our own page editing experience, our own blocks, our own anything. And the reason that's important for our host partners is there's no lock-in for them. And we've heard stories of some like page builders eventually launching their own hosting, and these hosts are locked in. We're not doing any of that. There's no lock-in for the host because we're built on core. Our site cannot be faster than one built with Extendify because there's nothing else to it. It is still just core WordPress. It means it's compatible with everything. There's no security risk because it is, again, just core WordPress. So we've stayed so close to the core because we benefit from all the investment that is happening in core, while at the same time layering this delightful user experience on top of it. But the other thing I wanted to touch on the agency front is, because what you get when as a user, when you go through the Extendify experience, and really right now I'm talking about Extendify launch, which is that initial onboarding experience. What you get with that site built completely on core is a site that is fully extensible. So you can then bring in a development partner and customize the site in any way that you want, and everything will work just like it would with a core site. And that's important to us because we want to bring a Wix-like experience to WordPress, but we don't want to lock people in like they're locked in with Wix.
That is the strength, one of the core strengths of WordPress.
That's right.
But like most things, it's a duality, isn't it?
Yes.
Our strengths are in some ways our weaknesses, and our weaknesses sometimes we don't see at the time are some of our strengths.
That's right.
And it's the same with WordPress. Its strengths are its weaknesses, and its weaknesses, maybe not its strengths. I don't know. But I think you understand where I'm coming from. But that you don't. People are looking for curation. They're looking for advice. We get a lot of people come to us that have read about they have studied like Kajabi, all the SaaS learning management systems. Then they've gone on to WordPress and learned about LearnDash, Lifter, Tutor. There's half a dozen. We concentrate on Lifter, LMS, LearnDash, and BuddyBoss.
Sure.
Because we've got to put some because they're the most established in our particular speciality. But we still have to know. We still talk to the clients. We need to know what they, because there isn't one of those. They have their weaknesses and strengths.
That's right.
And we need to know what the client wants to do so we can advise them. So that has some value, doesn't it?
It certainly does. And we found that we're building this solution as something that WordPress hosts can offer to their users. But interestingly, we keep getting pinged by agencies and developers who want to use this product because
you will do.
Because if you don't have to start from scratch every time, right? And that a site that's being built with Extendify is performant and it's flexible, then that gives you a great starting point. And we're not just bringing design and structure to pages, we're also bringing functionality. And so we take a goal-based approach to onboarding users to WordPress. So if a user tells us that they have a yoga studio business and they want to get appointments online for their yoga studio, we will pre-install, prepare for them an appointment scheduling module on their website. Now, what that also means is, I think, for you, and I'm sure we'll talk about this going forward, is we'll eventually enable learning management as something that's still needs configuration efforts, still needs a developer that really knows what they're doing to fully customize that for a user. But it's something that out of the box you can get a pretty good starting point and get going. And really, we want to make a user successful in WordPress before they had a chance to fail. If a user's first experience is really negative, then
it's very hard to retrieve that.
It is.
No matter how much time, energy you throw at them.
That's right.
If they get that first,
it
kind of puts a sour mouth.
It does, and it even if
it's like going on that first date and the date doesn't. It takes a lot to recover.
Yeah.
Well, we got a face like me; it's never recoverable.
I mean,
is it, Arthur?
It's one of those things where people say it takes a lifetime or whatever to build trust, and it just takes a single action to destroy it. And I feel a bad onboarding experience can really destroy that trust. And like, hey, is this really the tool for me? And really sets users down the wrong path.
It certainly does. So it's exciting. So, like you say, you've been at this for a couple of years. What's one of the main things you've learned through the actual process of attempting to build this? You need a lot more money.
No, I think it's amazing to spend time with users. We're huge believers in user testing. We do user testing with every version of the product. With new features we're testing, we get in front of users, and it's so easy to have an intuition about what users will like, what they won't like, and then you get in front of a user and you're watching them. There's a button on the screen they're supposed to click, and they're clicking everywhere else on the screen except for that button, and you realize, okay, I was totally wrong about this. Like, that's not. And so I think it's been fascinating to see. We spend so much time with that user testing and really getting real human feedback on the product, and that's been just so powerful. It's been such an ongoing learning experience for us.
Yeah, you have to come on the podcast for a full interview because I'm really excited about your product.
Yeah, I'd love
I have a lot of plugins and people approach me, but I think there's such a need. Because of where I am with my own business, obviously I would say this because you've touched something that I've been thinking a lot about.
Yeah.
And if we could do some business, that would be great. But I really honestly feel that your product is really, really needed in the space at the present moment. And I do honestly wish you as much luck as any new business.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Because I think you've done a fantastic job, what I've seen.
Yeah.
And I know both you and your partner,
Chris,
Chris, are really dedicated to this. And I think you stand a really good chance of building a really great business. But
I appreciate it. It's it's funny. We're live with a few partners already, a few hosts, but we came here to show this off, and so you're one of the first people to actually see a live demo of kind of like standalone product, whatever. And so getting really positive feedback is amazing. I'll just tell one quick story. When you hear about your product that you're building in the wild, unprompted, is such a satisfying experience. And so, a little while ago, I was listening to a podcast, and someone just completely unprompted. I didn't know it was going to happen. I was walking my dog, listening to this podcast, and someone just brought up, "Hey, I don't know if you guys have seen what's going on with Extendify, but they're the ones that are solving this onboarding experience problem for WordPress." I just remember hearing that, and it's so satisfying in the wild, and I think as Word has been starting, we've kind of opened up the veil. We just updated our website so you can actually learn more about our offering now. It's been really cool to hear about that, and so we're excited, and anyone who's kind of in the WordPress hosting space, we'd love to chat and be that partner that helps hosts just build better recurring businesses, make their users successful, and we're excited to be on this journey.
That's great. We're going to leave it at that. Like I say, go over to their website, have a look at it. Like I say, I think it's one of the more interesting product services in the space that I've come across recently. Got some other great interviews coming up during the day. We'll be back in a little while. See you soon, folks.
Thanks, Jonathan.